Hey guys, Angus, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why I've actually uninstalled Snapchat. So I've actually been using Snapchat for about 3 years now, probably be using it every single day. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Christmas or my birthday. I pretty much just didn't go a day without using it. I actually found it to be very addictive simply because I enjoyed using it. I took thousands of pictures, loads of videos, and now I've just got to this point where I'm just so bored of it. And I've actually got so many other reasons why I've actually uninstalled the app. Of course, one of the main things is just the fact that it's boring. I think that if you're doing something in your life and you find it boring, then what's the point in doing it? This is the same case with hobbies or sports that you do. If you don't enjoy it, then there's no point continue doing it. Of course, I can't change anything about Snapchat. I could probably change the people that I use Snapchat with and interact with and how I use it, but I've been doing that a lot. I've been doing loads of different stuff with Snapchat. I've been using it for myself, personal stuff, YouTube, and it's just got to that point where I just can't really change it to the point where I enjoy it. Probably the main thing I think for Snapchat is just the fact that you forget about the stuff that you've posted. So of course with Instagram, you know, you can look back at the stuff that you've done and it sort of can bring back your memory straight away because it's there, but you can look back at what you've done very, very easily, including pictures and videos. However, with Snapchat, I just find that you forget everything that you've done. This is the case with not only your stuff but other people's stuff. Unless you screenshot it, you're just going to forget about it. And I kind of feel that people aren't really treating Snapchat sort of like a temporary app where you just delete, where you send photos that you want to delete. People actually using it to post a lot of valuable photos of friends and family, and that's actually deleting itself, and they're forgetting about the valuable photos that they're taking in the first place. Another reason I've got rid of it is the fact that Snapchat introduced charges. When you've got a free app, you know, you've got to introduce some different features and different methods of bringing in income, and lots of games like Clash of Clans and stuff like that, of course, increase adverts. Snapchat hasn't really done that. One thing they have done though is they're starting to charge you for replays. So of course when you get a Snapchat, you have the option to look at it, and then you also have an option to actually replay it. And Snapchat are now charging that if you use, I think it's 5 or 6, there's a certain limit to how many you can use in a day, and of course if you exceed that limit then you get charged, and I believe it's 99p for 3 replays. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna pay to replay something that I don't really give a fuck about. So that's just another thing, is the fact that they're increasing charges. Now of course that's the only charge, and you can get other stuff as well, like you can now buy themes and different ways. So of course when you hold down the face on your rear camera, you can actually get different filters for your face, and you can now buy some. And I'm just starting to feel that they're just taking away the value of actually being able to use the service for free. I really hate it when services do that because it just takes it away. Of course YouTube have done this. I mean, people do get used to it. At the end of the day, people got used to having adverts on YouTube videos, but again, that was kind of frustrating, and that was one of the main methods for Google actually bringing in funding for their videos. Another thing as well is the fact that Snapchat is actually just getting rid of the features that people actually care about, and I'm not even kidding with these 2 features. One of them of course was the best friends. Now of course you might think, oh, I really like the best friend app because then I know who my mate's banging. It's like, I didn't give a fuck about that. What I actually cared about is the fact that I could use that sort of feature to find other people. So for example, I could look at my certain friends and I could see their best friends on Snapchat, and from there it would be likely that I would know them, and therefore I could get their name and then add them as a contact, and from there I could just go on and on and on, and I could actually find loads and loads of different people and loads of different friends just from the best friend feature. And the fact they got rid of that just doesn't really make sense. I don't know why, but hey, that's another reason why I got rid of it. Another reason is the fact with the features is the fact that they got rid of the time when you can actually see how long somebody's story or message is. So of course when you used to use Snapchat, you'd have say 100 seconds or 50 seconds or even 5 seconds or 1. But now they've got rid of that, and you basically just have to assume that every single story or every single message that someone sends you isn't a fucking hour long. It's like, if they go to a concert, then you're probably going to assume that they're going to take maybe 1 or 2 videos, but you just keep on tapping through it, and it's like, how fucking long is this video? Why would Snapchat get rid of the feature? I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense. I mean, I think one of the most useful features, because if it was too long, then of course you could skip through it and skip through to say certain pictures or videos, but they just got rid of the feature, and I don't really see the point in that. Another problem is the fact that of course Snapchat is mainly used on mobiles, and I really hate the fact that you can't actually use it on tablets. There's no tablet compatibility, and I don't really see the points in that. Now of course I can understand it in devices that aren't mobile, like PCs and consoles and stuff, because it wouldn't really make sense. I don't really see why they can't really have it on tablets. If they did, of course they would have so many more users. Problem with me is sometimes maybe I don't want to use Snapchat on my phone. Maybe I want to use it on my tablet. Like, for example, I have an Android phone and then an iPad, and maybe I want to just switch between the OS if maybe I want to, but I can't do that, and it doesn't really make sense. If they had tablet compatibility, then maybe I wouldn't have uninstalled it. Of course, another thing as well, limited text. I don't really see the point in that. I mean, of course, if you had just a paragraph to text, then it would make the Snapchat frustrating, and that's not really the point of it. It's meant to be used for photos, so it makes sense that they limit the text. But at least you could just have the option to increase your text, and of course you can go sideways, get a little bit more text. And on iPhone, you of course can actually copy and paste blank text and insert that in Snapchat. I've seen that before, but I just don't really see the point in it. Just a feature I wish you could actually change. Another thing as well is of course, you would have seen in the news that Snapchat, I think, spent $150 million developing the actual filters for Snapchat to get the facial recognition software to actually be efficient and working, and using on different devices. But I don't really see the point in the filters because they're shit. I mean, okay, I remember the very first one, you open your mouth and it just basically shat out a load of rainbows. Didn't really see the point in that. But again, they did it, and every single day they seem to change it. I mean, why not just keep the original ones, and then maybe you have the option to add it. So for example, like a GIF or a sticker on Facebook. I don't really see why they just keep on changing it, because it's quite frustrating. Okay, so maybe if people use these sort of filters every day and they want a variety, then that's perfect. But what if you want to go back to the original ones? And even worse, they're starting to charge for filters as well. Again, just more including charges, just gets pointless, really. So, I mean, one of the main things I don't really like about it is people are sort of using Snapchat to get attention and act slutty. Yeah, of course, that, who cares? That's the point of it. It's an app where it self-destructs the photo that you send to people. But when people use it for the story, it's just getting to a point where they're just using it to basically reveal their emotions, reveal how they're feeling, basically to get attention, and that's actually just really annoying. People will basically post on their stories things like bored as, or can someone talk, or something like that, and it's like, oh fuck's sake. I think the main problem with it is what people are posting. Now, of course, this could just be me and the people that I'm following, or it just might be the fact that everyone is just posting stuff that is boring as fuck. For example, people will basically be posting stuff that they're doing in terms of like a hobby or an activity, and they'll basically just take a picture of the fucking floor and just be like walking or out or friends or something. It's like, okay, I understand that you're trying to share that you're doing something and you're going out, but at least, use your fucking phone to do some interesting photography. I don't want to see the fucking floor, I want to see what you're doing. I don't give a fuck about the floor. So yeah, I mean, the limited captions is just getting frustrating, and people aren't really using Snapchat. They're sort of forgetting what it's for. I mean, I kind of liked it because it was sort of just a way for keeping up to date on what people are doing and stuff like that, but people are just using it the wrong way. I don't know if that's me, or if that's because of photography, or if that's just because of the people I follow, but that's just my problem, and I got really, really bored of it after 3 years. So yeah, that was just sort of like a daily thought of what I think about Snapchat. I probably will be doing some more talking and conversation and videos on certain apps, and I hope to do some more reviews and stuff like that in the future. Another update as well, I actually have 2 Instagram accounts. I do actually have one dedicated for YouTube, and one dedicated for photography. I do use my YouTube one for my personal stuff as well, but I do have one dedicated for just my photography. That's just a little update, but apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Damn, this is really weird. Oh, fuck, just ripped off my mic. Damn, it's so white. I've got so many other reasons about why shit. I never really think, oh, fuck.